The Young and the Restless Spoilers. Oh my God, you guys, stop scrolling immediately. It is Tuesday, but honestly, time is an illusion because I am literally shaking and cannot breathe right now. Welcome back to the channel, besties, but seriously, send help. My soul has actually left my body. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing right this exact second because we need to talk about this now. I'm literally hyperventilating. I was mid skincare and smeared charcoal mask all over the rug. Okay. I was just trying to have a peaceful, aesthetic little self care night. And then this happened. And I literally had to yeet my phone across the room. It bounced off my incredibly overpriced lamp, but I don't even care because my grip on reality is completely slipping. Bestie, be for real right now. How are we supposed to just go to work tomorrow and act like our entire universe hasn't been completely shattered? I am physically vibrating from the sheer audacity of what just went down in Genoa City. Like, I am personally offended, totally unwell, and genuinely spiraling over this absolute cinematic mayhem. It's giving major, I cannot even energy. And we are spilling all the tea right now because if I don't vent about this, I am going to spontaneously combust. Did I say that yet? Uh, my brain is mush, moving on. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step. Let's rewind to the absolute psychological torture chamber that Diane Jenkins Abbott has been trapped in, because honestly, my brain is buffering just trying to process the trauma of it all. Okay, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, but we need to talk about Diane's absolute nightmare scenario with Dr. Lawrence Markham. Bestie, this man is officially on my do not perceive list. I am so done with him. They are officially on my do not perceive list. I am so done. Diane has been locked in this terrifying, pitch black, barred room, completely stripped of her agency, and I am straight up losing my mind over the psychological warfare of it all. She's sitting there, spiraling, genuinely wondering why on earth hasn't this man been arrested yet? And honestly, same, Diane, same. We have been screaming at our screens for weeks. But here is the absolute most unhinged part, which is honestly so unhinged. The police literally have it on record that Markham is treating Diane and that she consented to it. I am screaming. How does that even happen? The GCPD is basically just vibes at this point, because how do you look at a woman locked behind literal iron bars, clutching a makeshift weapon out of a letter opener, and go, ah, yes, consensual therapy? I am legitimately sick to my stomach. The gaslighting is astronomical. Markham basically forged or manipulated a narrative so flawlessly that the authorities are just like, yep, nothing to see here, just a doctor helping a patient who had a mental breakdown. Wait, I'm glitching. Did you guys just hear that? I swear my neighbor's cat just knocked over a trash can, and it sounded exactly like a gavel dropping, which is ironic because justice is clearly dead in Genoa City. And don't even get me started on the vibes. The wallpaper in Diane's cell is this atrocious peeling beige that is honestly a crime against interior design all on its own. Okay, back to the main event. The fact that the police bought Markham's story hook, line, and sinker is genuinely sending me into a rage spiral. Like, bestie, do they not do background check? Do they not see the absolute serial killer aesthetic this man has going on? Diane is literally the victim here. She is the one being held hostage completely isolated from Jack, from Kyle, from the entire world, and the system is protecting her abuser. It is an absolute dumpster fire of justice. I was pacing my living room, pulling at my hair, just screaming, "Arrest him! Arrest him!" But Markham is just too smart. He's playing 4D chess while the GCPD is playing Go Fish. He anticipated every single move, covered every single track, and made sure that on paper he looked like a saint. It is a high-octane psychological masterpiece of villainy, and I am straight up terrified of how good he is at being bad. And because of all this, Diane is officially entering her nuclear villain arc, and I am totally living for it. I'm calling it the villain arc is about to go nuclear. You guys, Diane doesn't just want justice anymore. She wants this man DEAD. And honestly, valid. I support women's wrongs when they are this justified. She is sitting in that cell, the betrayal and the rage just boiling over, and you can see it in her eyes. The sheer cinematic drama of her clutching that letter opener, plotting the absolute demise of Dr. Lawrence Markham is giving me life. She is a survivor, okay? She faked her own death. She clawed her way back to Genoa City. She married Jack Abbott, and she is not about to let some discount Hannibal Lecter take her down. Diane's psychology right now is just pure, unadulterated vengeance. She knows the cops won't help her because Markham outsmarted them. She knows she has to rely on her. The stakes are astronomical, and I am clutching my chest because I am literally too unwell to handle the gravity of her internal monologue. She is ready to end him, and I am sitting here with my pom-poms cheering her on. Let's just pause and really genuinely dissect Diane's mental state during this captivity, because I feel like we aren't talking enough about the sheer psychological endurance this woman has. Bestie, imagine waking up in a room where the windows have bars, the doors are locked from the outside, and the only person you see is a man who speaks to you in this soft, condescending, creepy podcast voice, telling you that you are the crazy one. I would have lost my mind on day one. I would have been gnawing at the drywall. But Diane is sitting there, calculating. She is playing the long game even when she has 0 pieces on the board. She is analyzing every single word Markham says, looking for the slip-up, looking for the crack in it. The way she gripped that letter opener, which, by the way, how did she even hide that so? Queen of concealment. It wasn't just a weapon. It was her tether to reality. It was her saying, I am not the broken woman you think I am. I am genuinely tearing up just thinking about her resilience. She has been dragged through the mud by the entire town of Genoa City for decades. And yet, when pushed into a literal corner, she turns into an absolute lioness. But wait, we have to talk about Markham's sheer audacity. This man genuinely believes he is untouchable. He walks into that room with his perfectly pressed suit, which, by the way, who is his tailor because it's giving evil billionaire chic. And I hate that I noticed that. But he walks in so calm, so collected, knowing that he holds all the cards. He knows Diane wants to kill him, and he just smirks. He smirks. I literally had to pause the screen and scream into a pillow because the rage I felt was so visceral. Markham thinks he has won. He thinks he has completely broken Diane, outsmarted Jack, manipulated Patty Williams. Wait, did I mention Patty yet? Ugh, my brain is mush. Moving on. Yes, Patty is involved, but Markham is the mastermind here, treating everyone like pawns on his twisted little chessboard. He truly believed that life was just going to go on, that he could keep Diane locked up forever, and that he would never have to pay the price. He thought he was the smartest person in the room. But oh, Bestie, the hubris, the absolute downfall that was waiting for him. And let's talk about the specific mechanics of Markham's gaslighting, because it is straight up terrifying how easily he manipulated the system. He didn't just lock her in a basement like a cartoon villain. He weaponized the medical establishment. He created a paper trail. He probably charted fake therapy sessions, wrote down fake vital signs, and forged consent forms with such precision that when the police finally did a wellness check, they looked at his clipboard and went, "Wow, what a dedicated doctor. I am literally sick." It proves how dangerous he really is. He knew that the best way to hide a crime is to make it look like a favor. He was hiding in plain sight. And the GCPD, bless their hearts, they are just not equipped for this level of sociopathy. They are used to people throwing drinks at the GCAC, not Hannibal-level psychological manipulation. I was literally screaming at my TV, "Check the signatures." Look at her eye. She is blinking S. O. S! But no, they just tipped their hats and walked away. It is a terrifying commentary on how easily the truth can be buried under a pile of official-looking paperwork. Stop what you are doing and brace yourselves, because this is where my soul actually left my body. Just when we thought all hope was lost, just when Diane was about to risk it all and probably get herself hurt trying to take Markham out, the universe said, "Hold my iced coffee." The door to Markham's little kingdom of lies gets kicked open. And I mean kicked open. I am literally hyperventilating just thinking about it. The police actually show up. But it's not just any random GCPD extra in a poorly fitted uniform. No, no, no. Markham is standing there, his smug little smile completely evaporating, as handcuffs are finally slapped on his wrist. The sheer relief I felt, I collapsed onto my floor. The reign of terror is over. He is being arrested. He is going down. But Bestie, the plot twist, the absolute earth-shattering, cinematic, world-ending tea of WHO is arresting. I am genuinely not okay. I need to take a sip of water. Hold on. Okay, I'm back, and I am screaming. You guys, the person holding the badge, the person slapping the cuffs on Markham, the person who just saved the entirety of Genoa City, is Paul Williams. Paul freaking Williams. I am deceased. I am in the ground. I put a tombstone over me because I cannot survive this level of epicness. When I saw Paul's face on that screen, I let out a screech that probably woke up my entire neighborhood. Paul is back. The legend, the icon, the only man in the GCPD who actually possesses a functioning brain cell. He just walked in there like the absolute boss he is, radiating pure legacy energy, and shut Markham's entire operation down in 3 seconds flat. I am physically vibrating. This is the greatest comeback in the history of television, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise. We need to dissect the cinematic majesty of this moment, because the poetic justice is literally making me tear up. Bestie, think about the lore. Think about the deep, deep history here. Paul Williams is Patty Williams's brother. Patty is the one who paid Markham. Patty is the one who orchestrated this whole kidnapping mess with him. And who is the one to bring the hammer of justice down on this whole sick, twisted conspiracy. Her own brother, Paul, returning to clean up Patty's unhinged mess it is a psychological masterpiece. It's giving Shakespearean tragedy mixed with high-octane soap opera perfection. Paul isn't just arresting a bad guy. He is taking out the rot that his own sister helped bring into this. The gravity of these events is so heavy, I can barely lift it. I am clutching my chest. Paul looked Markham dead in the eye, and you could just feel the decades of GCPD authority radiating off him. Markham tried to be smart, tried to use his little loopholes. But you cannot outsmart Paul Williams. You straight up cannot. Can we also just take a moment to appreciate the sheer, unadulterated swagger of Paul Williams' entrance? Because it wasn't just an arrest, it was a cinematic event. The way the camera panned up, catching the glint of the badge before we even saw his face, I got full-body chills. I am talking goosebumps on top of goosebumps. Paul has this aura, this undeniable legacy weight, where he doesn't even need to yell to command the room. He just steps in, and the entire atmosphere changes. Markham, who has been this smug, untouchable god in his own mind for weeks, instantly shrank. You could physically see the ego deflate out of him like a sad balloon. Paul didn't just arrest him, he dismantled him with a single look. It's the look of a man who has seen every iteration of evil in Genoa City and is absolutely exhausted by it. Not on my watch. That looks it. And the fact that Paul is the one to do this, knowing his sister Patty is deeply entangled in this mess, adds such a profound layer of tragedy and duty to his character. He is putting the law, the safety of the innocent, above his own blood. It is so noble it actually hurts my Diane. Oh my God. Diane's face when Paul walked in. She went from being this feral, cornered animal ready to commit a felony to just utterly collapsing in relief. The absolute whiplash of emotion. I was sobbing, okay? Actual tears were mixing with my charcoal mask, making my face look like a literal horror movie, but I was so happy. Paul didn't just arrest Markham. He validated Diane. He proved that she wasn't crazy, that she was a victim, and that the system, when run by the right people, actually works. The fact that Paul saw through the fake consent forms, saw through the medical jargon, and recognized Markham for the monster he is, it's just so beautiful. I am officially on the Paul Williams Fan Club President Board. I am making T-shirts. I am starting a petition to make him the permanent king of Genoa City, because without him, this town is a straight-up disaster. And now, because of this one epic, world-shattering moment, Genoa City is finally at peace. Well, basically at peace, because we know these people can't stay out of drama for more than 5 minutes. But you know what I mean. The dark cloud of Dr. Lawrence Markham has been lifted. The evil psychiatrist is behind bars where he belongs, probably crying over his ruined suit. Diane is safe. The Abbott family can finally start putting the pieces back together, and we can all finally exhale. It genuinely feels like a fever dream. I have been so invested in this storyline, so deeply entrenched in the lore, that my grip on reality was genuinely slipping. I was looking at my own doctor suspiciously last week. That is how deep this trauma goes. But Paul's return is like a soothing balm on my frayed nervous. Peace is restored. The bad guy lost. The good guy returned in a blaze of glory. It is 10/10, no notes, absolute perfection. Wait, but now I'm spiraling again because what does this mean for Patty? If Paul is back and he took down Markham, he is definitely going to go after Patty next, right? Because Patty and Markham kidnapped Abby and Dominic. The villain arc is about to go nuclear, manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update when Paul has to confront his own sister about kidnapping a literal baby. I am not ready. I am physically unwell. My heart rate monitor on my watch is literally beeping at me right now, telling me to calm down. But how can I calm down? This is my entire personality. I am going to be talking about Paul Williams arresting Dr. Markham at Thanksgiving dinner, and my family is just going to have to deal with it. Honestly, I need to go lie down. I need to wash this dried, crusty mask off my face, apologize to my rug, and probably drink a gallon of water because I have screamed myself hoarse. I just had to jump on here and share this absolute insanity with you all. If you are not watching this show right now, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. The stakes, the drama, the legacy returns. It is everything we ever wanted and more. I am calling it right now. The aftermath of this arrest is going to shake the Abbott and Newman families to their absolute core. Besties, stay safe out there. Trust no one. Always read the fine print on medical consent forms and pray that if you ever get kidnapped, Paul Williams is the one on the case. I love you guys so much. I am going to go scream into my pillow for another hour. Bye.